Dang, I started over here. Was going to show you that the yard light was still on. It was overcast. And the yard light's off. It was just on. From here looking out, that looks like, late July or August pasture that hadn't been watered. That's something we got to get done too, is get the pump in and at least start some water. What was that hitch in your get along 241? Stood there too long or hit a rock. And there's 111 coming up behind her. The bad thing is they're scattered clear out. There's a whole bunch way back in there too. I'll give them a little chance to come up before I feed them. And they're still working on those tubs. These smaller tubs, if they were the other tubs or even the cheap ones you get at the farm stores, they'd have already been gone. They'd have been gone after about 2 days. So I am impressed with these tubs as long as they have lasted so far. Because that could have been, instead of 3 for the 120 or 150 pound tubs, they could have been 3 250 pound tubs and been gone by now. What are you guys sniffing around for? Great acre over here, huh? There was a great acre at the other end of the machine shed last night, but I'm not sure where he was. Blue was staring him down, but Blue wouldn't tell me where he was. Would you, Blue? Quit staring at your brother's pee-pee. That's another story in itself, but then they were orphaned when they were 12 hours old. So, I guess that's enough gabbing for now. I gotta get something done. Ladies are saying F it, it's Friday or what? Who wants some breakfast? Huh? Nobody wants breakfast? That's one of the kids' yellow tag on it. Pretty good looking heifer. Not overly big, but I think she's a little younger too. And Sapphire's just gonna hide back there behind her. Oh, no, you gonna come up here, Sapphire? Sapphire, you gonna come say good morning? Are you gonna do it from there? Okay, that's fine. And Cowboy standing down there in the gate. Then there's you. It's actually one of Brooks. Out of one of her old show cows. Huh. Yeah. Good looking girl. Short bodied. But good looking gal. Good morning, Ruby. Yeah, good morning. Okay. Well, maybe somebody's going to come up. Chrome girl? No, she's not going to come all the way. She stops. Nobody's going to come and say good morning to me. Really? Dang, and I don't remember pissing in their Cheerios this morning yet either. I'll just put these buckets back where I found them. Don't worry about it. No, I'll feed them. Just because they don't want to say good morning to me doesn't mean I'm not going to feed them. I know some of you watched that thing last night. I didn't, but I did see a few clips on social media. Now, the Oregonian used to be a well-respected and non-biased paper. They sold out quite a few years ago, probably 20 years ago, maybe longer. I think it was longer. An outfit in New York bought them out. That's a one-sided article. It ain't going to focus, but it's totally one-sided. How the Republican candidate spewed falsehoods and lies. That's what I literally just read in less than 3 inches of print. Yeah, it even actually specifically mentions one of the clips that I saw and how the Republican candidate lied about it, and it was falsehoods. WTF. It's not what I seen. This not what it was. Of course, you want to flip that around and it'd be about 99.999% accurate. Good morning, Blakely. She's got to go for a ride to Portland today because today is the day that she's finally getting that tooth on the other side of her head out. And she's got a driver in places where none of us go.
You didn't update him about yesterday, did you?
I did not.
Okay, we'll update you guys when I get back.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. There we go.
All right. Okay.
Rules of the trade. The funnest part of this is there's a split ring. Goes between these two. And that probably says it on here. Yeah, morning. Do not mix the parts around. Do not mix it, period. Because this spacer keeps your cones away from each other. And the one between here, the bearings away. The one between here keeps your races from making contact. Let's see it in there or not. The gap is about the middle of the screen. They're a pain in the butt to get in. Slip joints to squeeze it down. This is the one I used. Nope, this is the one I used to get the races in. A bigger one set on there and smack that sucker with a hammer to knock it in because you just can't do it. And that roller, yeah, bag wasn't sealed, no oil, nothing on it. I did a little cleaning on the inside. It's got little bits of rust. It'll work. Sure as hell ain't gonna wait around for another one to show up. And these little buggers, this one actually has a seal fastened to it. This is the cap side. That's the seal side. I took an old cow needle. Well, probably took a new one actually. And we've got 2 or 3 of them. Now they make them commercially, but hell, we did it 30 or 40 years ago. Put on your grease gun, sneak between the rollers, and fill those full of grease. So that's what I'm going to do next. Well, maybe not next. I'll show you what I forgot to do. Yeah, that's still in the wrong place. That's got to go clear up to there. So I'm going to spend the next probably 10-15 minutes cranking on a flywheel. It's fun. And I haven't figured out why they stick out so far. I mean, I don't know how things are going to clear. I really don't. I'm not sure. I mean, I might end up having to cut the end of that off, and I don't want to do that either. I measured, and I mean, measurements come out the same as the other one. And I didn't reach back on this side. I don't know if I could reach it. Yeah, I can get my finger into just past the edge of my, and these front ones, I mean, that's where it is, and it's still got to put the roller and the cap on it. So I don't know. It's not like you can change it other than cut the end off. Now say that one is done. Torque down to about 170 foot-pounds. Book says 150 to 175. It might be a little over, I don't know. And I kind of had issues. The nut cleaned up all right. The washer, I thought I had other 1 1/4 washers. Yeah, they weren't. They were metric. They were too small and hard enough that I wasn't going to try to bore them out. So I got the washer cleaned up. It's smooth on both sides. But it's together. And while everything's where it is, pop the cap off of that one and the 2 on the other side and see what they look like. And put a bar in here to get the weight off of it, see how it feels. I probably should. There's a roller right there too. There's side rollers on each side. Probably should check those while we're at it. But they're either good or they're bad. They don't get grease. But these, we'll try to get some grease into them one way or the other. It'd be nice if what I was seeing in part of the parts book stuff was true. One of the deals on, I think that's just paint crack, although it might not be. I'll clean it up and see. Showed that under the cap they actually had a grease zerk in the end of the shaft. Well, These don't. Well, at least that one don't. And they got Ty's tooth out. They're on their way home. Apparently it didn't want to come out. Story of my life. Actually, mine, when they had to pull them, they come out fine. Her wisdom teeth came out fine, but this one didn't want to, I guess. Oh well, it is what it is.
Story time.
I don't think she's going to talk much. I'm not talking about Blakely, I'm talking about Ty, because Becky just asked her if she wanted to tell her story about yesterday. She's not talking much now because that hole in her mouth is bleeding a little.
Let me tell you the story of Thailand. You know, she's been fighting endometriosis since she was like 12 years old. She had one of her ovaries removed. Still bad. Oh, since she was 9, sorry. I pick a number.
Time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun. Anyway, so she's 25, and they're going in, and they have scheduled a total hysterectomy. She will never be a mom, which breaks her heart. But she will not be in pain and bleeding like a stuck pig anymore. So they scheduled it. They're about 5 to 6 months off. So they went ahead and gave her a shot yesterday to put her body into menopause. She'll go in once a month to have a shot to keep her body in menopause until the surgery is scheduled. 6 months. She'll have surgery for 6 months.
Well, they can only give the shot
for 6 months. 6 times. So, yeah. That is her story. Happy that she's going to be out of pain and stuff, but on the other side, sad that she will never be a mom. But she's an anti-mommy to Blakely. And when Brooke has the next one, the same thing will happen. But, so yeah. So Thailand has had a rough week the last 2 days. And then having her tooth removed today, it's been a rough week. And yesterday didn't help was obviously, you know, Ed's father's 6-year anniversary of passing. Are you drinking my Dr. Pepper? Yeah.
That's one thing Ty can't do right now because she can't use a straw.
She stole her boyfriend Ben's root beer yesterday.
Blakely stole.
Yes,
Ben's root beer.
not Thailand.
So, anyway, that's the gist on that.
We'll keep you updated when...
I have thought for quite a while, you know, is it worth everything she's been going through? Because when it's that time of month, it's a full week, and she really doesn't get much done. She brings Blakely out and usually curls up in that chair.
I know this will be too much information for everybody, but she goes through a super tampon and a overnight maxi pad every 15 minutes for 7 to 10 days. So it has been hell.
And somebody's going to say, what's endometriosis? Becky had it. Her mother had it. It's hereditary.
My mom had a hysterectomy at 21. I was just turned 30 for my 30th birthday. I had mine done because I would bleed 28 days, not have a period for 2 or 3 days, and back to bleeding 28 days straight.
And what it is what...
The lining doesn't shed like it's supposed to.
Well, the lining doesn't shed like it's supposed to, but also the lining of the uterus is growing outside of the uterus.
Right, and it can puncture lungs. It can get caught to your intestines and create problems. It can go all over the inside of your body and create huge issues. And the only way to get rid of endometriosis is to have a hysterectomy and have everything removed. They'd love to leave an ovary so she has the hormones. But as long as she has an ovary, she has endometriosis, and it will continue making it even though. So the only way to get rid of it is to get rid of it.
So that's what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got like 6 months of her still dealing with it every month.
Yeah, they said they're scheduled out for 6 months, but they did text her yesterday and ask her when she would like to schedule if possible. She said, like, 5 to 7 months they're scheduled out. If she had an ideal time to do it, she said, what, October, November, September?
Can be fun around here.
September to November would be a perfect time to do it because the weather still isn't crappy and it's a little bit slower. So
now you got it.
Because she has 4 to 6 months, about 4 to 6 weeks of laying low.
Literally lunchtime at the moment.
And Blakely's going to go home.
She is going Maury is home. Believe it or not, that happens once in a while.
I think Maury's going to babysit and Tyrant's going to go to bed.
That's probably exactly what's going to happen. So Maury will get to spend some time with Blakely, who can't leave her shoes on. Huh.
She didn't have them on.
She did too.
Oh, she wanted them on.
Yeah.
She was running around with them on. Hey, Blakely, since you're going to go bye-bye, can you tell everybody bye-bye? I'll see you Monday.
Bye-bye.
Say bye-bye. See you Monday? Okay. There, you got it from everybody. This is the right rear plunger bearing. Roller looks good. Ain't all beat up. That's not metal or anything. That is completely dried out grease. The space over the spacer in the middle between the bearings was packed full of that. Kind of evident by what's still left there. Interesting, that one's showing up with some blue to it. The only grease that was in this, if you notice, a little bit of grease, was in the cap and on the nut. I shouldn't say the only grease, because the rest of that in there is grease, but it is completely dried out. The saving grace is, from what I can tell, the bearings look good. The seal doesn't look too bad. It's just not on where it belongs, which I'm going to take care of that. So I'm going to clean them up and put them back together, because number one, I don't really feel like spending $100 and some bucks on, well, $100 anyway, on a set of bearings, and those are a bitch to get out if you ever done it. And I don't want to wait till the middle or the end of next week to get them. I mean, I haven't got to the two on the left side yet. I might have to get a set of bearings, but you take them off one at a time and put them back on. Otherwise, you can't get them on and off. If I take another one off, I'll never get this one back on. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. Fun. That it's got a hex in it, not sitting on a socket. The inner race, the one goes on for, or yeah, inner race. One that goes to the plunger. It had spun in that. So, all that's got to get replaced, but not right now. A little trick. Ended up really, really good. I couldn't get the race out. I got it mostly out and got washed behind it. A little bit of brake lane works wonders. And little blue Loctite. It's thicker. It's in there behind it. That'll fill the void. May or may not keep it from spinning, but it'll keep it from moving. And yes, it's got some discoloration there that's cleaned up all right. It's, I can feel the rough spot in it when I put the bearing in there and work it over it, but I've felt brand new bearings that are just as rough, so I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to pack it full of grease and go. Bad thing is, can't do anything with that until tomorrow. Both bearings are underneath that paper towel, clean, ready to pack. So, that'll happen in the morning. In the meantime, I'm kind of late getting out to go feed. And it's been a day. You've seen most of it. So, that's going to sit right there. Don't knock that bar, it might hit you. Oh yeah, and I had to use a puller to pull that inner bearing off. So I cleaned it up on the inside. And the seal, it's gonna work for now. I'll probably pack a bunch of grease in against it and keep the dirt from getting in. It's on there, but it's pretty loose. It is what it is. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you all had a great Friday. Hope everybody has a great weekend.